Hello, I'm Grady with the Atlantic Council on Turkey program. I'm very pleased to be joined today by Dr. Bahadir Kaleagasi, president of the Paris Bosphorus Institute and a lecturer at Galatasaray University, to discuss an issue brief that Dr. Kaleagasi authored on Europe's geostrategic sovereignty in Turkey, which we recently published. Dr. Kaleagasi, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
First of all, I want to congratulate you for this important contribution to the conversation on the future of EU-Turkey relations. I want to start by bringing up what I think is the central recommendation of your issue brief. It's no secret that EU-Turkey relations have been going through a rough period, and the negotiations on Turkey's accession to the EU have been frozen now for many years. Your issue brief strongly encourages the reignition of this integration process. Could you explain the new approach you outline in your issue brief to break the stalemate and reactivate this process?
Well, thank you very much. Certainly. It is a search for a better win, win, and win algorithm, a triple win for Europe, for Turkey, and beyond, for the transatlantic relationship, for the neighborhood, for the common values and interests that should guide us in the 21st century. This is what I try to describe as the challenge to upload a historically well-tested algorithm of EU-Turkey relationship into the 21st century. So I simplify this as rebooting a version 5.0 of Turkey's European integration process. 5.0 because it concerns the ideals of society for 5.0 as G20 during the Japan's presidency had outlined, and then the European Union also adopted as an approach to the post-fourth industrial revolution society. Better democracy, better green transition, digital transformation, a society that is based better on the successful achievement of social development goals, from gender equality to health policies to education. So basically the sustainable development goals. So the Turkey-EU relationship also can be based from now on to these ideals, to the scope of the policies in these fields these are tangible areas, notwithstanding the problems and tensions, which are real. Tensions are real between both parties. They are challenging, they are harmful, but non-constructive policies between two sides, they are part of the problem. So both parties need a better strategic outlook, especially the European Union itself, which has to focus on its own values and interests, and then put Turkey within the framework of that visionary approach.
Thank you very much. Let's switch gears now to talk about the wider global context. The title of your issue brief, Europe's Geostrategic Sovereignty in Turkey, refers to the EU's pursuit of greater strategic autonomy in global affairs. Could you talk about how the current geopolitical situation is conducive to closer ties between Turkey and the EU?
Exactly. The main question also for the European Union ought to be how Turkey in the near future become a country that is progressively, gradually in convergence with the values and interests of the European citizens, including, of course, the citizens of the Turkish Republic. So in this respect, I'm trying to go beyond the narrow scope of the EU-Turkey relationships bilateral agenda, and try also, I once again simplify the issues in geostrategic terms under the title of 5B effects, 5 Bs: Brussels, Biden, Berlin, Brexit, and Beijing. And Brussels effect is the most important in this particular case for Turkey and also for the European Union. That is European Union's power, soft power, as generating effects on the rest of the world with its regulations, standards. This is a kind of unilateral globalization generated by the European Union, and this is a result of the market mechanisms, competitive conditions, ever comprehensive trade agreements with the rest of the world, with Japan, with India, with Southeast Asia, with Latin America, with Turkey. So Europe has a damaged but still effective global soft power. And that is also very important for Turkey, that is in a country in customs union with European Union, transposing European Union's regulations into its own legal order in competition, standards, certification, and gaining also as Turkey a soft power because it becomes a more attractive country for investments, for trade, for tourism, for technology partnerships with the rest of the world and with the European Union. So this is the Brussels effect. The second B is Biden effect. With President Biden, transatlantic relationship is back, and it will be very important for Turkey to be part of the probably regenerated, revitalized transatlantic economic area, and also the transatlantic and broader than that, the Western democracy in the 21st century. This is the only way for Turkey to continue to be, in terms of foreign policy, in terms of economy, in terms of social development, a country that is relevant and that is also able to be competitive, facing all those challenges of our century. The third B is Berlin. Angela Merkel will leave, of course, power by September. So there will be a new government, new leadership in Germany, and Germany is Turkey's most important economic, social, and cultural partner within the EU. And Merkel has been a constant factor in the equation of Turkey-EU relationship. So from now on, Turkey will have to deal with a changing political situation in Germany, and of course that will also have an impact on France, which is it's a strong number two as Turkey's partner in the European Union, especially with the departure of the United Kingdom. That brings us to the fourth B, Brexit, which triggers a debate on Europe's future. Probably European Union will evolve towards a better institutionalized, differentiated integration system, which means there will be a core, more federal, supranational Europe, Eurozone, and different circles, flexible circles of membership to the broader Europe. And that can help Turkey to find a better place in the European system. And that can also prevent many European capitals to get lost in a Turkey debate manipulated by populist or demagogic political discourses. And the last B is Beijing effect. Beijing, China is also an important factor of any picture, any equation, also for Turkey. This is a big challenge for the West, not only for trade or technology, but also for the social system, for the democratic system. And Turkey itself has to find, of course, it's a better balance in its relations between as a country of the West, but also a country that has to reposition itself in a pivotal role for Beijing's new Silk Roads, the Belt and Road Initiative. So this is an important challenge for Turkey, and these are all very important geostrategic issues linked also with the globalization. We are in the era of post-pandemic transition. Hopefully, the global viruses will continue to be there, biologic viruses, but also digital viruses, financial viruses, disinformation virus, terrorism virus, organized crime virus. The most importantly, maybe the CO2 virus. Climate change is an important issue. So Turkey has to be part of the Western system while being also a Euro-Asian gateway. This is the only way for Turkey really to continue to be a competitive country in the 21st century.
Very interesting, very interesting. Let's talk about this upcoming EU Council meeting on March 25th and 26th. Over the past year, we've seen different member countries advocate radically different approaches to Turkey. And you alluded to this a little bit with your Berlin versus Paris talk. Do you believe that we'll see some sort of unified message from the EU on Turkey? And what are the key issues from your issue brief that you would highlight to try to convince leaders to recommit to a deeper strategic partnership with Turkey?
Well, there are the tangible problems. Some of them are short-term, some of them are just unfolding as we speak. But Cyprus issue, Turkey's own rule of law problems, economic governance problems, Eastern Mediterranean problems, they are, and the migration issue, of course, they are all part of a broader picture normally for the European Union. European Union will probably, with this summit, be able to gain time and to give diplomacy to play its role. This is also Washington's recommendation to the European capitals. But this is being said, the most important challenge for the European Union leaders for Turkey is the same as the general challenge for every other policy issue for them. Thinking in terms of European owns geostrategic sovereignty, strategic autonomy, that is a way of seeing Turkey, the policy vis-a-vis Turkey as a policy of engagement, because it worked in the past. Engaging Turkey with conditionalities, of course, with conditions on democracy maybe and all other convergence issues on foreign policy, but not as a precondition to launch, to initiate the different processes which will end up with, of course, bringing Turkey more in line with European interests and values. So imposing conditionalities to block a process which is part of the solution is not logical either. This is why many people, many different circles, including myself, we recommend a very practical approach that proved its success in the past. That is to take from the toolbox very concrete integration policies. There is the customs union between the EU and Turkey. It concerns the industrial products. It can be extended to services, public procurement, agriculture, but also this version 5.0 would mean to include in that the European digital single market, European Green Deal, European social development policies, sustainable development goals policies in a nutshell. And once the talks start, then the solutions will be triggered because the process will be a leverage for them. So European Union should focus on the objectives, on the goals, and not on the current problems, because it is not productive. We know that. History proves that. We have enough evidence from the laboratory of the history. So Europe itself has to be visionary for its own sake, and that will also bring Turkey back to the Western orbit, and that will be win-win-win equation for Europe, for Turkey, and for the West in general.
Thank you very much. And that sort of overlaps with my next question. I'm glad you brought up the customs union, because I think that's an important area where there's a lot of mutual ground and win-wins that can be created. So including that as well, are there any other issues on the short term that the EU and Turkey can leverage and cooperate on to deepen their cooperation and rebuild confidence in the relationship?
Yes, beyond customs union, of course, there is this suspended process of visa liberalization between both parties. Turkey has to fulfill their important criteria in its legislation covering the acts of terrorism, data privacy issues mainly. So Turkey has to move forward. European Union also can play a more constructive role there because that will help bringing Turkey into European Union's area of internal security. That will bring better security cooperation between the European Union and Turkey. And as we all witnessed, unfortunately, during the dramatic episode of Syrian refugees and all the human drama, well, there are ways to prevent that from happening again with a humanitarian or with a more humanitarian approach, and also dealing better with the existing problems. That requires dialogue, but more than dialogue, that requires action of partnership. That requires to move forward without being hostage of the existing political situations or pointing out to in countries' domestic policies the problems of rising populisms, because rising populisms, they are supported by problems relating to lack of action, lack of engagement between European Union and Turkey. More Turkey is excluded, more it becomes part of the problems, which in turn, of course, fuel that kind of extreme populisms in every country in the European Union and also in Turkey. So some actors, they have to break the vicious circle. Turkey can do that, but Turkey also is in economic and political transition. Turkey can certainly do that, and Turkey has to do that. But notwithstanding what Turkey does or can do, European Union has to mind its own business and promote its own values and interests, and that means engaging Turkey better in the process of integration, knowing also that it doesn't mean in the short term full membership to the European Union, because European Union itself is evolving after the Brexit, especially towards a new system which has to be redesigned, and that will make the European integration process more flexible and easier to integrate countries like Turkey.
Great. Thank you so much. Are there any other final words from you before we close this?
No, thank you very much. I think we covered all. We just have to take the good. We have to really rely on our experience of the history. We should not repeat the same mistakes, and we should move forward, taking into account the changing conditions of the 21st century. This is a big challenge, but I think we have enough historical evidence to justify a visionary action.
Thank you. I really encourage everyone interested in EU-Turkey relations and also transatlantic relations in general to read this issue brief and watch an event that we hosted last week about EU-Turkey relations with experts and officials, and really engage in this body of work. So thank you so much for joining us again, and until next time.
Great pleasure. Thank you.